Hello everyone, this is me Abdul Sabur, your English language instructor, and you're watching EnglioCity. EnglioCity is one of the best platforms where we give you instructional videos, where we give you tips and tricks for improving and for enhancing your English language skills. Well, before starting this, I would like to thank you all for the 1,000 subscribers. I'm very happy and I'm very elated because you people are learning things and you people are commenting, right? I really appreciate and thank you so much for that. This video is entirely based on a very important topic which has become a concern, which has become a problem for many English learners, right? And guess what? What could be the topic? The topic for our today's lesson is how to speak English in a natural way. And I have been experiencing students or going for English academies, students are learning English in school, college, university level. Students are even having online courses, right? Students are even watching videos like you, but still they think that their English is boring. They think that they speak dull, right? They speak in a way which is monotonous, which is very boring for their listeners. Well, so in this very specific tutorial, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks where you can practice on those tips and tricks and you can be very natural while speaking. Well, a lot of you must have noticed the beginner learners of English language, they normally try to imitate, they normally try to, copy the native speakers. Well, I would certainly disagree with this point. Why? Because whenever you're learning things, you just have to be, and you just got to be very natural. Natural in a way that you learn things and on the spot you need to practice it. But on the other hand, a lot of students have the influence of their own native language and the influence of their own parental language on English language. Well, so this video will help you to cope up with these all problems. Well, a lot of you must be thinking about your grammar because I myself focus a lot on the grammar because grammar is very important. It's very essential for the ESL learners, for people who are learning English as a second language. Why? Because we are learning this language, right? And when you learn a language is different where you acquire a language. Now, just think about your native language. It can be Urdu, it can be Farsi, it can be Pashto, it can be Arabic, right? Now, the native language you speak, that is actually acquired, right? This is called like language acquisition. Now, language acquisition takes a lot of time, right? Where you learn it from the very first day you're born and you are a kid, you learn that language. But I have been noticing that students are struggling so much learning about grammar, practicing on structures, right? And still, they have a lot of problems. So how to sound more natural while speaking in English? You just got to be creative, right? In this very tutorial, I'll be teaching you some phrases, some words, and some expressions which gives a very natural look to your English language. Well, let's take start with the very first one, which is hi and how are you, right? We normally sound more, robotic kind of system, right? We don't have to go and follow those traditional ways of how are you, and how are you, telling everyone how are you, where it sounds very boring, right? Instead, you can go for some phrases such as how are things. Avoid saying how are you because how are you is more formal and these are the things that you've learned in the book, right? Now, you can tell your friend how are things with you, right? Or you must have heard about people saying what's up, right? Well, what's up does not actually mean what's above your head. You would literally reply, the sky is up, right? No, where what's up means how have you been, or how are you doing, right? Well, beside that, I have my favorite word. Normally I tell my friends when I meet them, and usually when they're having some hard times in life, I ask them, how's life treating you? How is life treating you? So you can use such expressions where you can use in your normal language and your normal communication as well in your own native language. You can have some similar greetings and some similar phrases where you can use it in English language as well. In order to sound more natural, go with these expressions. Well, we normally say thank you, right? Now, what are some other ways to say thank you? Well, instead of saying thank you all the time, you can say cheers, which is very informal, can be used with your friends. But in a formal way, you can say I appreciate it, right? I appreciate it. Or you can say I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate your efforts instead of saying thank you. Well, you can also say it's so kind of you instead of saying thank you, right? It's so kind of you. Why? Because normally you are not used to using thank you very much, right? But beside that, you can use some other phrases which is used to give same meaning, just like thank you. For example, if your friend have brought you something on your birthday, right? And you say, you shouldn't have brought anything. Your presence is more than everything for me, right? Now, you shouldn't have brought anything. The literal meaning is different, but the actual meaning is thank you. It means a lot for me, right? Well, now here is a very best technique, a very excellent tip I can give you all. I normally suggest it to my students. Which is learn, practice immediately, right? Now, things you learn in English language, do practice it immediately. Why? Because if you don't practice it immediately, right, later on you forget it. Later on you cannot practice it. Now if you have learned that how's life treating you for the very first time, you might have heard it for the very first time, right? So on the spot, write it on a piece of paper, right? And after a while, keep on practicing on it. Why? Because if you don't practice, you forget it after a while, right? And beside that, in order to sound more natural in English language, you can go for some phrases, right? You can go for some phrases, you can go for some idioms, you can go for some expressions. I've already covered videos related idioms and expressions, which I'm going to mention in the description below. You can have a look at it, you can learn it, right? Why? Because idioms actually help you to sound more like a native speaker, right? So when you have knowledge about these advanced vocabularies, when you have knowledge about these advanced expressions, so it actually gives you energy, it actually gives you a kind of positive vibe where you become more confident, right? And where you can speak English in a very natural way. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you people. That's it for today. Have a great time. See you next time.